Okay, let's talk interest rates and how is that affecting the market right this moment. All right, Feds raised the base points for interest 0.75. That's the largest increase since 1994. Now, we know that's not a direct increase in terms of what mortgage rates are, yet it does have an impact because it impacts the bond market. So we watched the 30-year fix for a home loan go up to about 6.664%. Now, what does that mean? Well, I want to show you a graph, and we have early adopters, we have when people mainstream acceptance, and then late adopters. And what this graph is going to show you right here is the fact that consumers, agents across the board, it takes time for them to understand that things are no longer the status quo. So how does that show up? Well, let's say you get on the phone with a buyer, and right now is the time to have the conversation of, hey, you got out of the game earlier, so now's the time because we have more inventory. Remember, we just talked about that we're up to 1.1 month supply of inventory. That's a 44% increase. So now you've got to look at rates, but also take a look at what's happening in buyers' mindset. They still think they're in the same market. So if a home is on the market for 5 days, 7 days, 12 days, something's wrong with it. Because their perception is still that it should be going that quick, even with the market changing. However, of course, that's not the case. A home being on the market for more than 10 days is normal. And let's look at how it's impacting sellers' mindsets. I have been watching the numbers every single day, as should you, or tuning into these videos. And here is the biggest change that I have seen yet. Yesterday, we had an increase up to 14 expired listings. Okay, that was a big jump on a daily basis. 14, we hadn't seen 14 in a day, and I actually can't remember. It was usually single digits. Today, when I pulled the updated numbers, we had 41 listings expired. Now, what does that mean? It means that they're off on pricing. They're still thinking that now either this is agent and a disconnect and people taking listings that they probably know aren't going to sell, and or sellers not understanding and embracing the current market. So are we backsliding in price? Not necessarily. What we are seeing is a pullback in, I'm not going to pay 40% over what you have it listed for when you have it listed for over fair market value, even at the 30% increases in appreciation that we've seen. So what's the script? What's the dialogue? What's the thought process? How do you help people understand where we're at? Well, pricing is a strategy, not a value. That has never changed, and that is going to become more and more important as people have to adopt where we currently are and understand it at a high level. So if you want to sell a house and you know, in this conversation I just had, you know that it is worth and should sell right at about $650 based on current comps, I highly recommend that you price at $625, $600 if at all possible, because buyers have not embraced the fact that there could just be one offer and we're going to pay fair market value. They're still thinking that they're competing at a level that they were 2 months ago, and then they're saying that paying $680 for a $650 house is not fair. They're not going to do it based on current interest rates. And so there's a disconnect between the market of the moment and what sellers' understanding is and what buyers' understanding is. So you've got to be that bridge in the conversations that you're having around what does this look like right this minute? And that is where we're at today. Hope that helps. If you need some more scripts, let me know.